Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have created a video about this low cost electronic DC load couple of weeks back. I hope you have seen that. If not, I will add the link in the description below. Although it is very useful electronic DC load for testing your power supplies or batteries, but there are two main limitations. One is you have to power this externally with the help of a separate adapter or a power supply, and another one is you cannot use it for load less than 200 milliampere. So in this video I'm going to show you how we can modify this electronic DC load so that it will be self-powered. So when you connect your power supply or battery, it will take power from that itself. You don't need external power supply to operate electronic DC load. Second one, I will also show you how to modify this DC load so that it can work from 20 milliampere to 1 ampere. In order to reduce the load current capability from 200 milliampere to 20 milliampere, what we have to do is we have to change this shunt resistor or current sense resistor. You can see here. So the value used is 10 milliohm. So if we can change this shunt resistor to 100 milliohm, we will be able to achieve 20 milliampere to 999 milliampere load current. So what I'm going to do is I already have this 0.1 ohm shunt resistor and I'm going to replace this on this DC electronic load. Okay. So I have removed this 10 milliohm shunt resistor. Now I will solder this 0.1 ohm shunt resistor. Now let us test if we are able to load 20 milliampere to 1 ampere. So we will connect the power supply and check the load. So now as we have changed the shunt resistor, we have to ignore this decimal point. So right now it is 20 milliampere. So we need to consider it as 20 milliampere load setting. So let us test. So I am setting this for 20 milliampere, and on the power supply we will see how much load it is giving. So now you can see at 20 milliampere setting it is loading 18 milliampere. Let us check for 30 milliampere, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, this is for 90, this is for 100 milliampere. So it is quite close but not very accurate. So if we select proper shunt resistor very accurate, I think this error can be reduced. But otherwise also for testing, accuracy of load current is not that very important. So now let us see what we get at 200 milliampere, then 300 milliampere, 400 milliampere, 500 milliampere, 600 milliampere, 700 milliampere, 800 milliampere, 900 milliampere, 1 ampere. So you have seen, just by replacing the shunt resistor of value 100 milliohm, we are able to change the load for 20 milliampere to 1 ampere range. So what we can do is we can keep one load as original from 200 milliampere to 10 ampere, and one more set we can make it modify it for 20 milliampere to 1 ampere. So this will be a good addition to our lab, and it will be very useful when we want to test power supplies with load current ranging from 20 milliampere to 1 ampere. Now let us see if there is a possibility of making this load run from the power supply or battery, whatever we are connecting, from that source itself, and we don't need to connect external power supply to power the DC load. So in order to check if we can power DC load with the help of whatever source we are connecting, whether power supply or battery, what I try to do is I try to connect my power supply output to the DC load's power input just to check how much current it consumes. In idle mode, it is consuming 65 milliampere. Operating voltage will be 12 volt. If we go below 11 volt or above 13 volt, it won't work. So we have to keep operating voltage as 12 volt. And what we have seen is in the idle mode, when it is not running and you have just set your voltage and current, that time it is consuming approximately 65 milliampere. And when you make it run, let's say I will put it to the smallest value. When we make it run, because our fan is also running, at that time it consumes approximately 120 milliampere, which is quite high. So if we have to supply 12 volt approximately 120 milliampere, then it won't be possible to test the load at lower current configuration. Why? Because for example, you have 3 volt power supply to be tested and you need 12 volt, so you will need to connect a boost converter in between, which will convert your 3 volt to 12 volt. And if you need to supply 120 milliampere, your 3 volt supply need to provide minimum 4 times. If efficiency is 100%, you have to provide 4 times the current, right? So 4 times the current will be 480 milliampere, approximately 0.5 ampere you have to supply in order to make this DC load working. So I realized that without changing the design, it won't be possible to make it self-powered, or otherwise if we make it self-powered, it won't be capable of testing load at lower currents, because it will be consuming itself something like 700 milliampere or 1 ampere current. So only above those loads we can test with the help of this load if we make it self-powered. One more interesting thing which I found, I will show you. So I'll switch it off. So you can see around 65 milliampere it is consuming. But then I also realized that this 7 segment displays and LEDs will be consuming a lot of power. So I thought, let me try to remove that. So when I removed those 7 segment display part, which was easy to remove, it was only consuming 15 milliampere. So here your power supply circuitry is there, your op-amp is there, and your microcontroller section is there. So I think in order to make this self-powered, what we have to do is we have to modify this design a little bit, so that we are, instead of using 7 segment display, we need to use glass segmented display, which consumes very less power in microamperes. And we need to modify microcontroller and the power supply circuit also, so that it can consume lowest possible power, so that it will not impact our load current. So let's say if after the modification or with a new design which consumes like 5 milliampere, when it is running, it will not have a big impact on the load you are putting on device under test, or your power supply under test, or battery under test. So as it is, we cannot make this modification to make it self-powered. But yes, we can have a new design where the power consumption of the whole design is in 1 or 2, let's say less than 5 milliampere. Then we can easily make it self-powered. So I hope you have found this video useful. Let me know your feedback about making this DC load self-powered. If you have some ideas, please share in the comments below. I'll be happy to learn from you. If you want to learn more about embedded system design, please visit my blog pallavagarwal.in. Thank you very much, and I will see you in my next video.